Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips and Lori G, the Benefactor. And tonight we are so excited because we have the amazing ladies of the chat and the one and only Zakiya Young in the house tonight. Yes, no, guys. So this is going to be an explosive episode. Lori G has planned this out completely. And it's going to be some juices flowing here, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I do. Come on, sissy, let's dig into it.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hello, ladies in the chat. It's been a
Hey,
minute.
hey, hey, hey.
And we're so excited to welcome our guest, Zakiya Young, joining our panel tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for some heated discussions that, I don't know if they'll be heated, but some thought-provoking discussions that we have. But, you know, we got to kick it off with Shelly C. and our updates, because how can we even go on air and not have a segment that is talking about the explosive Diddy trial?
Right. Whew. Okay, so it's so much going on that I have to catch up on my podcasts, but and it's going at a fast pace. But I don't know if anybody's had a chance to listen to the trial, but Cassie has been giving some very good information, explosive, good information. She
Yes.
is very believable. Some of the things that were happening. She talked about the freak offs and some of the text messages have been shared. And I'm kind of like a little upset at the fact that some of the things that they're sharing, like, of course, the defense has to defend Diddy, but what they're saying is that Cassie enjoyed the freak offs.
Yes.
And one thing I know about DV victims, and only because my daughter had been into business for so long, when you are in survival mode, you will do and say anything that you can possibly do to be safe. Okay? Especially when you're staying with someone. So I don't really know why, well, I know why they're attacking her, but I don't know why a lot of people, especially who don't know much about DV or domestic violence, they're saying that she's lying. But she seems to be very credible to me. How about you, ladies? Have you guys seen any of the chats or any of the text and some of the things that are said?
I have, I watch this little follow-up that they do after each day. And the reporters have said that she's been very believable, that she's been very composed on the stand, that she has been credible and very explicit, though. Very explicit
As she should
about the
be.
things that she endured. And it seems that she was also very open to say that at first this started as sexual fantasies and pleasures to try to keep your partner engaged or excited, right? But that it quickly escalated to some next level stuff, right? You got to keep in mind she's 8.5 months pregnant.
Yeah, that's where I had an issue too, because
Today she's 8.5 months pregnant.
Yes, she said she's ready to give
testifying.
By her
birth.
new husband.
By her new
This
husband.
is baby
Her
3.
and it's a boy. It's a boy.
Oh, I didn't know it was a boy.
She has 2 girls, and it's going to be a boy. And I would have, if I was her mother, I would have difficulty with that because of, the whole thing when, I don't know if you guys, but my grandmother was like, everything has to be pleasant when you're pregnant. When you're speaking trauma or you're dealing with trauma, you pass it on to your kids, but not only to your kids, but everybody after that, because Tanya, as you know, you carry your grandchildren's eggs, right? Your granddaughter, when you have a granddaughter, you're carrying her eggs. Same thing with you. If you have a granddaughter carrying eggs, you're soon to be you know what I'm saying? So that trauma carries on. And so I would have great difficulty if that was my daughter on the stand. But she's very brave. I have to say that. Because some of the things that she talked about were her fears, because he would threaten her and say, I'm going to release these tapes.
The anxiety can't even be imaginable.
Right. And she had sores in her mouth. Did you guys hear about
I heard that.
Sores from
being with the prostitutes.
Being with the
That and he would make her arrange it. Not only that, he would make her call and arrange.
Well, I heard there were so many of them that became
A job.
like her job.
Her job. She was
Her
a sex
job
worker.
was to arrange
I'm sorry, she was a sex worker.
Well, that was she.
No, yeah.
She described
for
herself
real.
that way. They said, what, how do you see yourself? She said, I am a sex worker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's
and-
been through
What do you
therapy.
think, Zakiya?
Well,
Yeah.
my marriage was abusive.
I'm
Oh.
sorry to
And
hear that.
thank
sorry.
you. So I haven't watched a lot because it is triggering, but I can definitely identify with the whole thing of just saying yes so that
To
they won't get
peace.
mad.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, it's like,
She mentioned that a couple of times. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Zakiya. I just wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
She did. She said there was times, and if he was taking drugs, she really said yes to everything.
yeah, it's like you don't know what levels of anger they can get to.
Mhm.
But since you've seen it before, you're like, we don't want to go back there.
There,
Mhm.
right.
So, yes, they're asking me to do something crazy. Yes, they're humiliating me, but I'd rather take that so that he can get it out of his
And just get it over
system
with.
than to
Mhm.
fight back. And you do forget that you can fight back, especially
Oh no,
I
you
can't
don't fight back. That's
imagine.
crazy.
because he's got so much power. Like, Diddy
Right.
has
Yeah.
so much
Yes.
power.
So much
Like,
power.
who was she going to go to
Right.
that he couldn't pay off?
Because one of the
Right.
things that came up is that they living together or not? I mean, they're not married, right?
They're not
right.
married.
And so why would she still be there? But what you said, Shelley, the fear transcends whether you're married, just any relationship, right?
Mhm.
That fear of getting those videos released, fear of somebody knowing what you're doing, fear of not living the lifestyle that you live, fear of whatever it is. And it just doesn't matter if you're married. But people, I know there was on the defendant side, people were like criticizing her from like, well, you stood there, you
That's
took
what I
it.
wanted
Why
to
were you still there?
Get at. That
And
they
I
were
don't think they
criticizing her.
understand the power of fear, right?
Mm.
Just the power of
Statistically,
fear.
ladies, the average DV victim, domestic violence, she goes back 8 times. That's average. That's average.
Even
8
if
times.
she leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because they find ways to get you back. Fortunately, I did not have children with this man,
Mhm.
and he did not have a lot of money.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I knew I could leave. I knew he would
Mhm.
never have an effect on my career.
Mhm.
But thinking of her and being so young when they
Yeah.
met,
So yeah.
19.
He's 37.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
for
Oh,
the
yeah.
people asking,
So
why
he
did she
just-
stay? It's like,
he
are
Cherry
we?
picked that.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got to remember that it started off with the carrot of the album.
Mhm.
10.
Right,
10.
right.
10 of
Mhm.
them.
It was a
10
10 album contract deal.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
And he was everything back then.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was living in New York back then, and it was
Mm.
like, if you could get invited to a Diddy
Girl,
party,
please,
It was
right.
everything. Because
That
we
was
would have
it.
been up there.
So she rated.
Dude, I would have been
Backing
up in the
that
Diddy
thing up.
party.
Mhm.
I might have left at 12.
You know, we would have.
But I'd have been
I'd be
there.
like
You did
Denzel
not left
Washington,
at
leave
12.
before the
You
devil
did
comes.
not.
Okay,
Leave
leave before the devil
I
comes.
would leave before the devil get there. Because when everybody start getting ass naked, I'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm out. I might peek, but I'm out.
We know you're
You
going to
gonna
peak.
peak.
I'ma
Chelsea.
peak.
You
I'm
gonna
gonna
peak.
peak.
Yes,
Yeah.
But it also shows the power of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How people really, really love money over self sometimes, right?
And the other thing, I don't know much because there's so much whisper about it, but people was dying around him. People
Girl.
that came in association with him were dying.
Or cars being blown up. Keep cutting
Cars being blown
Yes,
up.
I
People
came
getting
out
shot in the
court
face.
About the
People getting
somebody's
shot in the
car.
He's
face.
a
And then
straight
you see
gangster
him
now,
get
don't get
off
it
on a
twisted.
trial
Yeah.
for shooting a woman in the face. You see him get off
So
and pass it on
that
to
power.
Shine. Right?
Mhm.
Shine
Yep.
took the rap for that. So when you see how much power, he has the key to New York. When you see that
Mhm.
power,
You don't want to see that power.
You don't want. You be like,
Right.
I don't know if I can do this.
No, I'm Gucci.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, you Gucci. You Gucci.
You're out.
Yeah.
You're not even going to go down that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
On the one, and I don't know, but I've been through, and I don't talk a lot, and I don't talk, and I ain't gonna go too far with this one either. But I know trauma.
I
We
do.
all do. I
Mhm.
know abuse. I know DV. And you do different things for different reasons.
Mhm.
You do.
But one thing I also know is that the Lord always gives us a way out.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in some predicaments that perhaps I should not have been in. But yet, nevertheless, I was in them. And when you see that monster show itself, with all due respect, and maybe I know she was a baby, uno mas, or maybe uno two. It's not normal. You know it's not normal to sit in a pool full of baby oil with your clothes on just because some dude want to see you slippery. You know when shit get weird. You be like, no, we ain't going up in there. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Or even, and if you get, you already know too, because you know. When you get out, if you get out, and when you get out alive, you be like,
I'm
I don't give a
cool.
what he tell me.
But Jack,
Especially no kids, no money
Right.
involved, no finances involved,
Right,
no
right,
children.
right,
Because
right.
now if you got children, now you're going to have to worry about Freaky Jason coming to
Right.
get you for the rest
of your
of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather keep you close where I can watch you
but
than be gone with my kids and you
19-year-old
come and get
Jackie.
me.
That's
Yeah.
all.
That's
The
is-
first time that Nico came with that weird stuff, no, that is because I'm from COMPTON. I don't
Maybe
know.
so.
No, but
But they-
I think we
but he
cannot
was-
negate the
No.
desire
I'm wrong.
for the fame,
fame.
right?
was
There's a
very
desire
good.
for
That's
the
right.
fame.
That's what
like,
it
you
was,
gotta
Lord.
get
Yes,
out. You could be
but
like,
Jackie,
no, I'm
I think
good.
he
Am I
was very
wrong?
smart about it. He was 37.
He waited.
Yes.
He made her wait until she's
He
31.
waited until she
He
fell
groomed
in
her.
love.
He
He
Yes.
groomed her.
Yes.
He groomed
Because
her.
when remember, ladies, we've been there.
I know.
I can attest. When you are in love
Mm-hmm.
with that nigga,
Mm-hmm.
you will do just about anything. When you are in deep love.
Something wrong
So
with me.
I
I
think
know.
I think he groomed her to that point. He didn't just say,
I think so,
"Bam,
too.
tonight is the night."
But I think
Yeah.
I think he
you don't think that the whole money contract, you're gonna be a big
That too.
singer.
I think that's
That
part
too.
of it.
I
Kind
think
of
it's
made
persuasive.
her
I'm sorry.
stay.
I'm used to being on the end. I'm sorry if I'm putting my hand up.
No, you're
But
good.
she doesn't know her value. She doesn't,
At that
she
time,
doesn't know
at
her
19,
value
you
at
don't know your
19, her
worth.
value or her
Exactly.
worth.
At 19.
Right?
At
I don't even
19.
think she knew her beauty.
No.
At 19. I don't
At
think she did
19.
either.
And I
But
think
you
he
know
used
what?
that against
I think
her.
also
Mhm.
maybe she did because why else would he pick her? If it
Because
were
she
not
didn't
for
know
her.
her
She was an
value.
That's the
easy
thing. He
target.
picks her,
Mhm.
and then once he has her, he
put the
starts to
clutches
break
in
her down.
deeper, deeper, deeper.
It's
Clutches.
the
Once
thing.
she falls in love.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because he doesn't want her to
because-
leave.
Once he makes the promises.
Yes.
Someone, you were
I know,
saying
God
something
bless
about
him.
baby oil. So baby oil in its natural state in a relationship, you don't think anything about it. It's how he used the
Excessiveness.
baby oil that would make you think something wrong with this. But she probably was not talking to her girlfriends.
No.
She wasn't
Her
talking to her
parents.
mama. She wasn't
She's
talking to somebody. And
isolated.
it's so funny
That's how they
because
get you.
I
God
just
bless.
read, and I started to send it to the chat yesterday. I should have followed my first mind. Well, her husband gave this. Did you see what her husband said? So her husband came out. They were talking about criticizing him because you came along and saved her. He was like, I didn't save her. Mom, she saved herself. She did her work. She came back. She got value in herself. She started loving herself. And see, that's what she was missing in the beginning. If you don't know your own worth, how you expect somebody
She
else
was
to
an
know your
easy
own
target.
worth?
They know
She was a very easy
how
target.
to target you.
Yes.
They
He's a
know.
manipulator.
Yes.
Because look how he did her versus Kim versus Misha. He did some ass whooping with them too.
Mhm.
But I'm saying, look how he did the she wanted children. She wanted to be married.
Mhm.
Look what happened as soon as she left him. She's on her third child right now and in love. Got married like that.
But now, I
She-
did hear some report, and I don't know if this is
Mhm.
true, but there was some overlap between her relationship with him and his marriage
She
with
was her
Kim
because
Porter.
he was her trainer. Alex was her trainer. Alex Fine.
No,
is that his
not
name?
not
Oh.
with Diddy's wife,
Yeah,
Kim, the
and Kim.
kid's
Oh yeah, he
mom.
did all that.
That
And
there was
Cassie.
Yeah.
there was a relationship overlap, right,
He had the
between
twins on her.
Cassidy.
Mhm.
He had the twins on her.
Okay,
Yep.
and that she was kind of the side piece.
Mhm.
Kinda.
He had the twins
Yeah.
on her.
But also think she's 19.
Yeah, I didn't know if
Yeah.
that was true or
But
not.
yeah,
if she
I heard
was
that
the side
too.
piece.
But they apparently, like, after a while, they allegedly, Kim and Cassie got together. And Kim was like, yo, not only did we do that, but after she gave her some tips to like try and get away.
Mm.
And I had heard that Kim had a feeling that her end was near. And she was telling Cassie, like, you have to report
away.
him. You have to get out. So I don't know how much of that is true, but I will say the way that this
It
has
is.
unfolded, it's like Kim's on the other side doing some things like
Right.
Writing
Reveal
books.
him.
Anybody think that she was murdered? Absolutely.
I think she was murdered.
I
I think
think she was.
She was
murdered.
getting ready to release that book
exactly.
about their lives.
Mhm.
And it was
Mhm.
she was getting ready to go on tour and talk about it, and it was just getting ready to be released. I don't even know where the transcripts are to that now. I think they're probably been paid to be
Mhm.
pushed
Well,
under.
one
But she
guy
was
has
getting
them.
ready to release a book about everything
Thing,
about
mhm.
them.
Yep. And
Mhm.
it would have taken out too many people.
Would have taken out too many
Yeah.
people.
It's this weird energy in the recording industry that once you get entree, it's like all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, you're the next big thing. And if he has everybody around him on the payroll,
Right.
you know, we saw it with Whitney. We see it with all of our celebrities that we tend to lose. It's like when people are on the payroll, are they telling you the truth?
Absolutely.
So you've got this 19-year-old baby who's been gaslit and abused.
Like the girls with R. Kelly.
Yes.
Yep.
And separated
But
from their
they
family.
picked the weakest link
Separated
because
from
you
their
notice we haven't heard anything about Cassie's daddy.
Exactly.
Absolutely. No, we
So
haven't.
you pick the weakest link. You know how
That's
to
all
pick
I'm
your
saying.
victim.
That's what's wrong with us.
Yeah.
Something wrong with what you y'all need help. What you say?
We said we need help. Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
We do.
it is a
Yeah.
deep game, man.
CPT makes
I
you,
mean,
you
it's freaking
Got it.
Sparkle. She's sister.
It is.
Oh
She's
my
sister.
gosh, it is
She
Sparkle.
is sister, queen.
She is.
No, really
Dang.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Beautiful,
sister.
gorgeous, the
Mhm.
whole 9 yards. But peep game. Sister knew she shouldn't have been tricking with old boy. She heard about his rep.
Mm-hmm.
She heard about his rep.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you don't think, is it that hot? Or is it hot?
It was hot
Or is
because
it
J-Lo
hot? Or
left.
is
She
it
did not
warm?
have a J-Lo.
Right.
J-Lo got out of there.
I'm just, what?
One gunshot is enough for me. I'm done.
And then
J-Lo
I think,
said I'm
I
not.
believe,
The
like
fact
you said,
that
she, and then the
you-
daddy issues thing, and it just turned into what it turned into.
The fact that the police would even ask me a question,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I would be out of there.
Yeah, it was too much for J-Lo. She said,
I
I'm
don't do
out.
the police. I don't
J-Lo
do
said,
I don't
I'm
do the
out.
police.
I'm getting
She
with
said, I'm
Ben.
Right. She's like, I'm good. I'm good.
Rebrand.
I'm not doing none of this here with the Diddy man.
And she knew. 'Cause she was out of there too quick. J-Lo was out of there
She was
too
out of there.
quick.
And good for her because she lived
Good
to tell
for
about
her.
it.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's
I mean, I
interesting.
think that Sean Combs is really, really powerful.
Yes,
He
he
is.
is.
got-
Very.
Yeah,
knows
he's very
everybody.
powerful.
If he kept that tape all that time, that hotel, he paid them $50,000 not to release that tape.
But there was a
That's why
second
she's
one.
getting $10 million from that
Right.
hotel.
Yeah.
And he has tapes on everyone. Like, can you imagine
No.
who is showing up on these
Just-
tapes?
Girl,
But
they
okay,
said
let's
they
talk about that
got
a
to
minute.
put
Why
up
do you tape?
individual screens for the jury because
the
the
thing.
photographs are so
So
insanely
bad.
Graphic.
There you
Graphic.
go. Come the
I
hell
want
on.
to see a photo.
I
You
mean,
said you do?
I do. What's in the photo?
Girl,
I don't know.
I need to
I
try to
don't
get a
know
little
if I'm ready. If they was
Well,
like,
it's so
I-
insanely
They said
graphic
clutch her
that
pearls.
you.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
real. And I
They said
thought of
who?
you immediately.
That would've been me.
She had to clutch her pearls.
she
But-
said,
Right.
he
One of the
literally-
jurors did that.
I
She was
believe
taken
it.
aback.
Like, what kind of person are you? Like you were saying, like, if you knowingly put up cameras, that's the level of evil
Right.
that you are
Mhm.
going to make sure you have footage of everybody.
So they can't
That
turn
gets
on
a
you.
little tippy.
you're not going to
Exactly.
videotape me knowing. That's not going to happen. Knowing.
I think a lot of times maybe
They
they're
did.
not knowing.
Yeah, I
right?
think
it's
They
all
know.
What
hidden.
are these people? You giving
Right.
them Gatorade?
I was getting ready to
and
say,
it's
you're not
fucking
going to do
got
that.
GHB
Yeah.
in the crap.
Because that shit's out there forever.
Come on now.
You get drugs,
Forever.
you have hidden cameras, and
Well,
everyone
that's
has
the
to
part
turn on
I'm
their
waiting
phones.
for. I'm waiting for the drugging to come out because if the feds come in and they do a big search, it's got to be more than just a Cassie testimony.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm,
It's got to be
Yeah.
something
Oh, there's
big.
more people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Some,
more
some
people.
names are going to fall.
Yeah. A lot of names are going to fall.
Holy cannoli.
You'd be
And I saw
surprised.
something the other day. I'm sorry, Jackie. Go ahead. I saw something where Usher is now worried about what's something that may be coming out about him.
Because they got tapes on him.
And they got but see, Usher was also
do.
Usher was also 14, 15.
Yeah,
He's
He was a
kid.
baby.
And he was a
baby.
baby. And you know, I really hope whatever comes out doesn't, I mean, it's probably gonna shock us, but when they're so impressionable at that age, 14, 15, 18, they're so famous, everything, money is everything. And
Well,
Usher
Usher
wants to
said
do
it.
his career.
He
No
said
telling
it.
what's gonna come
But
out.
what's the
Usher
statute
said
of
it.
limitations on child abuse? Is there a statute?
I thought it was.
I thought it
called
was.
it.
I don't know about kids, but sexual abuse is 2 years.
Well, because he was
Yeah.
a kid. He was 14.
Right. But
Yeah.
he said it. Usher said it. He said there were things that he should not have seen
I mean, he lived
At
with
his
him for
age.
like
And
a
done.
year.
and done.
And
Why
That's
did
what I'm
Usher's
wondering.
mother give right
Yeah,
up
that's
to
what I'm
Diddy?
wondering.
A lot of
See
people
what I'm
do
telling
that.
you?
But see, I would be up in the
Why?
I would be up in the
Selling
mix.
Like, you sell your kids off.
Right, yeah, no, I'd be
Exactly.
up
But
in
she
the
Had
mix.
to
was
pay the
so
crack man? I don't
involved
know.
in his journey. Do you guys remember that?
I'm not going to just
Yeah,
be like,
she
Oh,
oh,
she
she
was
was
very
But, Lori,
involved. I mean, she was a
don't
stage
know.
mom.
I
She
wouldn't
was
have
like
did it.
really there.
Mhm.
But
She was.
the way they described it was like he had nannies like I don't know if it's pretending or whatever, like, oh, this is the nanny, she's gonna make sure he has this and that and he eats and da 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 da, and this is gonna be the person that's gonna be teaching him, this is gonna be his
get it.
educator, all this. So this
Ike
whole
Turner.
you make people think that, but then when the lights go out after 12,
Exactly.
the kids is up in there.
Anime, get up.
Anime.
Make a hit. Anime.
Yeah, but it's really a trust thing, right?
I don't trust
How do you
nobody like that with my
trust
kids.
somebody with your kids?
Exactly.
And not go full throttle to figure out who the frick they are and what they do and be up in their house at 14. I would have never left my kid
Ever.
at the
We
house.
all spending the night. We all spending the night.
We all sleeping in the bed
so
with
is like,
Michael
this like
Jackson.
brother,
We
sister.
all are.
We spending the night. And we go, okay, what's our bedroom? He's gonna be in the bedroom with me.
And the mother.
100%.
We all together.
100%.
Yes.
Did you hear what I said? We all sleeping in the bed with Michael Jackson.
Right. That's what I said. This is Greg's
me,
sister right
Webster,
here,
and
we all,
Bubbles. We all there together.
Me and Bubbles go get to know each
And
other.
I am in the middle. Michael's over here.
Right.
Greg
Bubbles is
Jasmine's
in the
over
middle.
here.
Yep.
But let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for just a second. Why do you think that happens?
What?
Like parents just
Starstruck. The parents are just as starstruck and believing that their kids are going to be stars just like everybody else. But you sold your child, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you two have sons
Mhm.
that went along
Trust
that
no one.
not music, but that kind of professional highlight. Jordan with the NFL and little Greg with baseball.
Traveling.
Would
Yep.
you have made that type of choice? I know you both are very, very
I
involved.
slept at
Would
the
you
camp
give
in
coach
New York.
your son
I
and
slept
say,
I
at
love
the
that.
camp.
I love
I
that.
slept at the
You
camp.
stayed at the
I
camp.
was in there, yes, in full sweats
Good.
because I didn't want no mosquitoes to bite me, but I was in the tent.
he was in the tent
I was in the tent with
at
the
the
boy.
baseball camp?
Greg was like, I'm like, yes, I'm in the tent. I was in the tent.
Yeah.
I was in the tent.
Because
Sleepover. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me get my pajamas. Wait.
Where we going?
Right.
Okay, yeah. Me, I could be an escort.
You know why? Because I it was just this quote, and I was telling one of my coworkers about this when they were complaining about somebody at work, and it's this quote that says, "Everybody is human first," right? So we think because they're a star, a pastor, a preacher, a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever, that they don't have no problems. But they're
They do.
human first.
Yeah.
Before you're anybody, you are still a human.
Human.
And if people could just remember that, but you get so just intrigued by titles
And trusting of
and
titles.
trusting.
Right.
You
Yes.
think because somebody's a lawyer that they have to be a good person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, they
Wow,
say
no.
somebody's a lawyer for some gang members and some people who are trafficking
Yeah.
little girls.
They tell
they're
them how to
lawyer
do
for
it.
that.
They tell them
Right.
how to get away with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have discernment when you have kids. You just can't just. So to answer your question, hell no.
No.
It's
They
just
call me Mama Bear to this
create
day. That's my name.
Period.
I ain't playing.
You see what I'm saying? Is that the fear of poverty?
The fear of poverty.
So
I
you
think a
sell
little
your
bit.
child off for the possible lick of stardom.
I think so because they introduce them to this whole new world, all these
That you haven't
experiences.
introduced them to.
Right. So it's like you feel like, oh, well, they see a talent in my child. And by proxy, we get to have these experiences together. And then what you don't realize is, oh, well, after the first family trip that they invite you on, maybe I'll just let you go by yourself. I
It
spent
looked
time.
okay.
Exactly.
Mm.
So it's like they plant those little seeds.
It
And if
never
you're not
looks
peeping
okay.
game,
Right.
Too much of a gamble.
You're done.
Yeah.
Right? Is it worth it?
Too much of a gamble.
No.
Oh, well,
No,
New
no, but
Edition. New Edition. How you think
No,
Bobby Brown had
it's
all the
not worth
kids?
it.
You know I love
But
New Edition.
I know
you know
you
do
do.
love
You do.
New Edition.
I know them backwards and forwards. But
Yes.
Bobby, come on. It was because they let him do whatever the hell his parents were nowhere around. Where the hell?
Right.
They was in the BBB mansion. Did you see that on the movie? They was in the mansion
Yep.
while he was out there
Yep.
fucking
And
drugging,
doing.
Mm-hmm.
having kids at 16, 17 years old.
Yep. Yeah.
See?
That's
And
why
what do you do?
When
Look at
when the
Lori, look,
security
like,
guards
wow.
came in the room and turned on the lights, they was all fucking in the same room with the girls.
Mm.
Like,
Yep.
you know, I'd have been like, what the hell is going on up in here?
Okay. Angry panda up in the house that flipped some tables.
What the hell?
Oh my
We spending the
gosh.
night at the, okay. Well, me and Greg gonna be in this room.
So
y'all.
that is it. You know, drugs, sex, rock and
Mhm.
roll.
That's why I won't let my nieces
In
get
it.
involved in the industry. They're like, Aunt Zeke, can't you help us? I'm like, no, you need to go to college
Yes.
and graduate, and
Yes.
then I will make some calls.
Maybe consider. Right.
But I was like, you don't understand. Like my sister's like, I will be able to handle it. I'm like, bless your heart.
Mm.
it's a full-time job,
Girl,
and you need to be
Mm-hmm.
with them at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see you being able to do that
Right.
because of your workload.
Mm.
But I was like, it's an adult industry. We forget the entertainment industry is for adults. And there's a lot of dirty money in recording.
Mm-hmm. They were in the club. They were in the club
Yep.
at 15
Yep.
and 16 years
Yeah.
old. 15, 14, 15. They were in the club. The club.
And you can't imagine the level of stuff
At
they were
12.
exposed to.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
there's,
Yes.
there's
If I can't quit my
places-
job.
So these two over here,
Yeah.
you guys want to? Since we're talking about talking things out, y'all want to talk about y'all's issues?
No, I was just saying, I can't judge that because I too was in the club at 12. But that's just it's a family business, and somebody had to sell the fish sandwiches.
Uncle's
Somebody had to do
Hey, I'm not mad at a good
So there
fish
we go.
sandwich
Yeah,
at a
good
club.
you were
That
right.
sounds great.
But
But
you were
And I
probably
was 8 in the
supervising.
club.
Michael
was
Jackson
supervising the
was
juke
6 years
joint.
old, 5 years old in the club. Michael Jackson was 5 years old in the club.
But
supervised by Joe, but
Joe
he
ain't playing
still was
around.
exposed to a lot of things.
Yes.
So guess what? Me as Catherine would be up in the club too.
Yes. You were at home because there's a lot of other children there you
Oh
had to
no!
watch after.
Oh
You
no!
were at home because
Oh,
Joe
no.
said you
Remy-
were
Joe, Joe got
Couldn't
all that
be
taken
there.
care of.
First of all, me and Joe wouldn't be together.
Well, there's
Well,
Don't go
but
on that.
that may be a good segue into the next topic.
Yes.
It will be a great segue into our next topic, which
Shelly want 5 husbands. She don't.
we today are
I
going
forgot
to
about that.
challenge the relationship model of what we have kind of, societally, I guess, known, which is there's just like, two people in a relationship. But in this new millennial, right, there are this whole ideas, and we've talked about this on POJ, polyamorous relationships. But we haven't talked about polyandry. And the definition of that, I'm going to read it right here from my phone, is when a woman has more than one husband or male partner at the same time. It's very rare, and oftentimes it's misunderstood. And definitely it can be controversial. But in today's world of evolving love and gender roles, it's really worth a very real conversation. So I would like to explore with you ladies today. Could you see it working? Break it down. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
See what?
Well, I have been. Could you see polyandry working?
I could.
You could see it working.
Ooh, with a smile on her
Here's-
face.
Here's why. I don't think I have the organizational skills to do such a thing, but I've learned that the idea that one person can be everything for me, especially as a strong woman, I'm releasing that idea.
Right.
I'm open to it. I'm like, okay, universe, surprise me.
Right.
But I don't expect it. So I do think the idea of, some dudes will flat out be like, this is what I can offer you. I can't offer you anything but this. And then if you meet other people that are filling different needs, I could see that as long as everybody's on the same page and is really actually honest, then I could see it working. I don't know that I would try it, but I'm like, I'm not going to say I haven't thought about it. And that's honest because it's just like so many, the ideas of what marriage is, especially in heterosexual relationships. It's like, it's a lot of work, even in the best marriages. For the woman, it's work, because of patriarchy. And I think that as we're digging more into what patriarchy is, a lot of us single sisters are like, yeah, we're not going to do that.
Right.
I don't know if I want to do that. I want a marriage that's a partnership. And that's what my parents have. But I'm realizing that's very rare. So I can see why people are like, well, if y'all are going to have fun, let me see. I don't know, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So when you say you've considered it, you mean you've considered dating multiple men at the same time?
I've considered it and I tried it for a minute and it was just too much organization. I was like, wait, who am I going out with tonight? Okay, where are you from again? Okay. It's like you have to go over the notes.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
And
It's a lot.
Doing your script or something.
seriously.
It's a lot. But
it,
in the words of Tanya Simmons, I can't say what I would not do. I'm not going to say that I would never do it. Because you
That's
just
what
never.
I said, Shelley.
Yeah. No, you just say don't say
Never
that you
say
never.
what you
You
never
never
say
say that
never.
you never say never say. So I can't say never, but like she said, you never know. You might find yourself in that situation.
You just got 3
But I just
beautiful
don't know.
black,
Beautiful and black,
hanging,
yes.
swanging,
Beautiful teeth.
kings, beautiful teeth, just the whole get down. You just say, I'm going for all 3.
I mean, if one is more romantic, the
Yeah, I
other
don't
one
think
is
I
more
could.
athletic, the other
Right.
one likes to cook.
Money maker over here.
know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, see, in that situation, but I might have some problems if it was a man and I was one of the girls.
Oh, yeah.
I might have a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Like Sister Wives.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. I'd have a problem with that.
But then what's the difference, though?
I'm the one fucking everybody.
Oh, okay.
I'm the one fucking everybody. That's me. That's me. I'm the narcissist. Okay,
You're the narcissist.
I'm
I
the
got it.
narcissist.
I got
That's
it.
where I want to go. But
Okay.
him,
I'm the man.
I don't want to.
You're the road out. Okay.
I don't want to give you the satisfaction of just
Anybody
thinking
gonna
I'm
be
just
getting
one.
banged out. It's gonna be shut.
That's right. No.
Well, I have watched this show, which was the inspiration for this topic, called Seeking Brother Husband.
Mm-hmm.
I
I've seen it.
watched that show.
Did you watch
I
it? Did you meet Tiger?
I'm trying to remember. I watched him because I had a friend
Was
who
on there?
was exploring this
Ah.
lifestyle. So I was like, let me be a supportive friend and try and watch it.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating.
It's fascinating because there's a black woman on there. I forgot her name. But
That's
there's
what
two
made
black
it
women.
interesting to
but
me.
there's one who made an impression on me. She was married for 26 years. Her first husband. They have 3 children together, and after 26 years, she decided this polyandry space is where she wanted to live because she missed the excitement of dating and the excitement
fun to date.
and butterflies of
I miss it
getting
too.
to know someone new. So she set out on a journey and she met Tiger, who was exciting, a little younger, brought the butterflies. And so she married him and she's been with him for 10 years.
Mm.
So now she's asking Tiger to move out of the bedroom because it's time for her to start dating
Mhm.
again because she misses the butterflies
Mm.
and the
So she
excitement.
need
It's an
counseling.
addiction.
Yeah, she does. But I
She
have to
needs
admit,
counseling.
that the dating part
butterfly
is
season. It is.
Yeah,
that
that
I love to
butterflies, the dating, that is fun. I
Yeah.
have to admit that is the fun part.
But then what happens when you got this baggage now? The fun's over.
Well,
now.
the 20, then you
Then you
keep
move
on
on to the
lining
next
them
one.
up.
regular dude now.
then you just move on to the next one. I'm just like she said, like she
Well,
ready for
Tiger doesn't want to be put out.
Yes,
The,
he
the 26-year-old, let's just call him Mr. 26, he's really good with it.
Mhm.
He says, I don't have sex with her really anymore.
The 26-year-old is not Tiger.
No. Tiger's the young buck. So
The
Mr.
26
26-year-old man, the one that she had a 26-year long
Relationship.
marriage with.
Oh, so he's still around.
They're
Mhm.
all still
Still
around.
around.
They're
They're all still
shopping
around.
for a home with 3 bedrooms. Right now they have a home with 2 bedrooms. Mr. 26 has his bedroom, and
My
Tiger
vagina would
and
hurt.
old girl have their room.
Mhm.
Well, she is saying
She's
it is
putting him out.
time for
Some people can do
Tiger
it.
to get his own room because she's going to be dating and having company and people coming over.
Somebody
ready
is
to
going to
get
die.
her freak off.
Somebody is going to, that shit right there is a setup. I would be like, somebody is going to die.
It's crazy.
That's the setup. That's the setup. Somebody is going to die.
They went and they looked at homes in Houston. These people live in Houston.
Because this is what I struggle with. And maybe I'm crazy. There's I'm watching 90 Day Fiancé where there's a throuple. There's always somebody you like more
That's right.
Agreed.
or love more than the other.
That's right.
Somebody gonna get mad. Somebody's gonna die. Somebody's gonna die. Yeah, somebody is going.
That's gonna be back on
we
your
having
true crime show
fun. We
talking
having
about
fun. Now, what's his name? Don't want to move out the room.
Tiger,
Tiger
he
don't wanna
doesn't want to
move out the room.
go. He says it's moving way too
So
fast.
he gonna hear that woman fucking, and he gonna go in and shoot her. He gonna go in there and shoot somebody. I'm telling you. somebody is going to
But
die.
you have to. What I learned on the episode, you have to respect the rules. The rules say, right?
You have to have open communication.
Listen, how many times do we have to respect the rules and we don't?
Right.
When emotions get
Right.
involved. That's what
The
Shelly's
pheromones.
talking about.
Right.
Your pheromones. And it's so me. I
you gonna say to
I'm
Tiger?
not made to do that. I
No,
don't think I'm
no.
made to do that.
Somebody will
because
die.
if I'm effing you, you my man. That's
Right,
just
that's it.
You my man. I'm not made like that.
Can you handle somebody
No,
saying,
it's not
you go in this
natural.
room, you got to move out the room now.
No.
I'm about to fuck somebody tonight. Like, what kind of sense do that make?
Yeah.
Like, somebody's
It's
gonna
not
die.
just tonight. Tiger
No.
needs his own space. He needs his
But see,
own
they can't date
Tiger gonna be in that room
privacy.
hearing them fucking, and he gonna come in there and he gonna shoot their ass. I'm telling you, somebody's gonna die. Somebody gonna die. Come on, y'all.
Because
This is made for TV.
But with Shelly, you know, Shelly, these two, Shelly, what we're saying is right? Because how many times have you not been able to control your emotions? That's why people get hurt.
Okay,
and
ladies,
killed
I
and
got a
abused and stuff.
confession. I got a confession.
God help me.
We on TV.
I kind
show.
of tried it.
You tried a polyandry?
And I got
Andrew.
pissed as fuck.
Oh,
Because let me tell you.
You know what? I could tell your energy was personal.
I
I can
dated.
feel that this was way beyond the
I
chat.
dated someone and I
I'm gonna have
really
to call
liked
on to
him.
the
I
ancestors
dated
if you-
someone and I really liked him. And he told me, I have a confession. I can't be just with one person. And I can't keep my stories together. I don't like lying because it's just too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought, okay.
So if you can handle me having someone else,
Shelly was sitting outside the house.
girl, I didn't go that far. I don't even think it went that far.
With her house shoes on. No.
No, I don't think
Her
it went that far
body.
because we went. My mind
Your mind.
kept just when we
Like
would
if
go
you wouldn't
out.
talk to him, would you be like, he over there with that bitch?
Right. So then
You know.
Why
we've
he
been
ain't
there.
answering?
So I said, why the fuck did I think I could do this shit? Because somebody gonna
I don't know.
die.
You should have asked me in the beginning.
Somebody is gonna fucking die. So I was just like, I told him, I said, I can't do this. And I kid you not, it was the shortest relationship I ever had because I was like, okay, as long as I can be the top bitch, I'm okay.
Right. You be thinking that.
But
you
we're
tried it.
not made
Right.
like that
You have
as
to try it.
women.
And I
We're
think
not.
that's the difference.
Some
We're
women
not.
are-
Well, they
some
are
women are
on
not
some
made like that.
husbands. Oh,
I'm
girl
not.
is.
I'm not.
I'm not made like
What
that.
about you, Zakiya?
I also tried it.
Okay. Oh, you did.
And yeah, because I was like, well, nothing's worked up to this point. Maybe I need to be open to this. And this was the IBM, the ideal black man. And what he didn't do was follow the rules. The rules are such that you're supposed to tell people from up front
Right.
that you are ethically non-monogamous. He did not. Now, this is my bad. I was just like, oh, well, we got caught up in the moment. It'll be fine. I will never do that again. But I said to him, look, I'll try it. It's not ideal, but I like our vibe. And when it stops being fun for me, I'm out. And I tried it for about 5-6 months.
Mine wasn't even 5-6 months.
Well, it was also cross country.
Okay.
So he lived in New
Wow.
York.
Literally.
So it
No, was a
also,
couple weeks.
I could understand it because I was like, it's long distance also. But there did come a point where I was like, I don't like this anymore because I feel like you're not being honest about what's happening. And I feel like you have a hierarchy and I don't like where I am in the hierarchy. So
Right.
I'm going to be out. But on the flip side, in talking to people who do have these relationships, they say that you're supposed to have regular check-ins so that when when it's not working for them, you can leave, no harm, no foul.
Immediately.
Girl, we had to talk and all that. And I'm telling you, once that shit became reality,
That's right. I can see
I was
that.
ready to fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
no,
I
this
think
is
it's
not
like if you
going
think he's
down.
over there.
Because I'm the top. I'm the top. As long as I'm
Did
the
he know
top.
her?
And we
Right.
had that discussion. I'm what
Well,
I
what
want,
does
when
it
I
mean to
want,
be-
how
what
I
does that
want.
mean
all
to
that.
be the
mean
top?
to be the top?
Like,
Like,
what
when
does
I
that
call
mean?
you, say, come over here and lay it, he supposed to go.
Yeah.
Well, he came, right?
Yeah, but when he wasn't there,
See, on them days
your
when he supposed to be
brain
over there
starts,
with
like
her.
Tanya said, your brain just starts,
The
okay, I'm not seeing
pheromones.
this motherfucker tonight. Okay. This motherfucker not answering the phone.
See, that's the part.
She started
That
flipping
part.
the light
Then
off
you
and
know
on.
he's there.
Start flipping the light
Right.
off and on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
This fool, okay.
But I could see it on the other side that because men, what we hear is that men don't want to be tied down, right? Oh, you're trying to get me. Great. I'm not offering that. I'm
Well, in
offering you a
polyandry, you're not.
position.
Right,
Exactly.
right,
So it's
business.
like, I'm offering you a chance to be one of a few if you don't want to be tied down. So I feel like you probably enter with a different energy. You're not looking for this to end in marriage.
Right.
Everybody knows from jump, we are not trying to marry each other.
Right.
Now, again, I'm not saying I would do it, but I'm realizing that heterosexual marriage as we know it today doesn't work for everyone.
Right.
And I think that's what we're seeing with people exploring these new ways of dating. Again, it didn't work for me with a man with more than one.
Girl, yours 5-6 months. Mine was probably about 5-6. It wasn't even 5-6 weeks.
I mean, if he lived in LA, it might have been
a month.
Gotcha.
And I was like, fuck this.
But see, when I have a concern, I know, and I'm an old stogie fogey.
You are?
I'm sorry.
You are
so crazy. You crazy.
Okay.
My concern is going to be all of that dick swapping. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
there was.
do people talk about
there
that?
was
Like,
an agreement.
You gonna scrub the cat?
No,
What's
there
happening?
was a.
I mean, 'cause that's some.
There,
But at least if they're in the
real.
same house, you probably can have control over them, right? If they're in the
Regular
same house.
testing.
No, there was an agreement that it would always be safe.
Not you and these people, but this.
Oh,
person
okay.
with the-
Because I was getting ready to
this
say.
lady over here. Not
Yeah,
you.
but what does that mean, Shelley?
Oh, believe me, it was
But I
safe.
mean, this lady
What does that
here.
mean when somebody says, "Oh yeah, it's gonna always be safe"? You
No,
can't-
we discussed the
Yeah,
details
but
of
that-
what
but
safe
you
meant.
That
Yeah.
person gets over there in that moment or whatever. You're still at risk for whatever.
You are at risk,
Yeah.
but I knew one thing for sure. You was always going to wear a goddamn condom with me.
Right.
You're not my
And
husband.
regular testing.
Yeah,
I want to
Yeah,
see the
you're not my
results.
husband. You're not my
No,
husband.
it's
These
not for
people
me.
on the show, they
I
all live
quickly
together.
figured that out.
Not for me.
And the two men are not allowed. They're not allowed to have other people.
Yeah, she's
No.
the only one that's allowed.
She's the
Big
only
pimpin'.
one.
Which
She's
I-
the only
What
one
happens
allowed.
if you find out one of them cheating? That's when somebody really gonna
They
die.
get kicked out the house probably.
She said that's what somebody really got.
Right. Because I'm just wondering. But but the thing is here, I think everybody's, like you said, Zakiya, it's a position.
Mhm.
Everybody is supposed to
Play their position.
Yeah, it's like you have the
But Shelley said
agreement.
sometimes people get out of bounds.
And when they do, it's like,
Somebody
we got
is
peace out.
gonna, just like even on this show. I don't know if you guys watch 90 Day Fiance. There's a polyamorous relationship, and the woman that they're trying to get, there's a married couple, and the woman that they're trying to get, who's in Mexico, the woman came up straight out and said, "I'm only doing this because I want you." To the woman,
Takes all kinds.
but you fucking her husband.
See? That's
People
a lot. I'm
sick.
just saying. She can tell you. It's a
People
lot.
sick.
But
I
you-
just
but
couldn't do it.
you-
We're not made to do stuff
But
like
it
that.
works for, if you always like the feeling of dating
Yeah,
and
you like
meeting
the
new
butterflies.
people
It is
and
fun,
the butterflies.
and I think that's what
and
happened
life
with
is
this.
really short.
It is.
So
When-
why should we have
Your
to
butterflies
Have these
in your
rigid
marriage.
rules, right?
I think
Right.
that's the
They didn't.
conversation. Like, well,
You
if
talk
this
about
isn't
those
working,
rules.
Try
Then
to.
let me
He
get
just
out
wants
of
to be
here.
on his phone.
and when
Yeah.
it stops working,
We'll stop
then
it.
Just
let's
go.
stop. Just go with God.
Right.
Peace and blessings.
Absolutely.
Find somebody else.
But it takes a great amount of trust,
Yes.
like of that person.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a great amount of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having problems with the trust.
Okay.
That's real.
I knew that you were going to be seeing this person on the side, but I still had problems, like Tanya said, the safe sex. I still had problems with that part,
Yeah.
trusting that
That's
part
not
too.
funny, yeah.
And see, it was great because the chase, the dating, we weren't having sex in the very beginning because there
Yeah.
was a chase. He likes me. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it just be
Yeah.
me and him eventually. And then when he came out and told me that, because see, that's nothing. When you date, you find out a whole bunch of surprises.
Ah,
You find out a whole bunch of stuff about that person as you're dating them.
right.
Do you
Not
guys
always
remember Gerald
good.
the model?
I do.
He liked threesomes. I hated
did.
it. I never did it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. But he was always bringing it up. And I hated it. I hate when he would bring it up to me.
Right.
But I've never tried a threesome. I would tell you guys if I did.
Yeah.
Never did. But it was a hinder in our relationship because he was always trying to bring up a third person. And that shit was just a turnoff. And he was fine as hell. You know he was a model.
Yeah.
So,
Girl.
Well, in this new world
mhm.
era,
Modern.
do you think there is a space that we could begin to normalize polandry?
I think it's here. I honestly,
For some people.
It's not biblical.
on-
No,
it's not
I couldn't do
biblical,
it.
but also everyone doesn't
doesn't
believe in the
last.
Yeah,
Bible.
for those that don't
So
believe,
it's
that's
like,
fine. But I'm a believer. So
Yeah.
I can't.
And
do
I'm
it.
saying it don't last. It don't like I said, somebody, And I wasn't kidding when I said that. Somebody gonna get fucked up.
But I think if, like Zakiya was saying, if the rules of engagement are intact, and sometimes people, they even sign a contract on it.
Yeah.
That you know what I'm saying? No, yeah, they do.
Oh, I didn't
And
With the
you
guidelines,
have to, and if you have, I think, a like-minded person, you could go into that agreement.
And I think now with
And some
dating,
people could keep.
My emotions too intense. I couldn't do it.
you have to.
I figured out mine
It's a
was.
contract.
It's
I
a
figured out
contract.
mine
And it's a
was.
show.
And it's
on
on
those,
the
right?
Could you do it, Lori and
Yeah.
Jackie?
No, really.
No.
Would I have said what
Could-
you mean?
No, could you do this? Could you?
Pollyanny?
Pollyanny. I don't think I could. No.
I could do Pollyanny.
You could do that
If I didn't know my husband.
right.
With this one,
Well, I'm just
that's
saying,
not
like
gonna happen. But if he was
I'm
like
just
a
saying if you
regular
had
human,
I just
like
it's
a
too
regular-
much. It's something. Too many of you. Too many of you.
Like a regular.
I would get 3 men that like different meals, and I'll be cooking all the time. What's the role? Are you the wife? I mean, are you
I just
actually
want to
the
be
wife?
catered
She
to.
is the wife.
I think that's
So
the
she
thing.
has the
to
wife. So
cater to me.
she's
That
the
would be
wife.
When you are the top,
Yes.
you are the wife.
You're the only.
So that's what I need polyandry.
Yeah,
I gotta have
polyandry.
everybody love me.
Yes,
That's
so
right.
the men
They all
cook
love you.
for you. But
You're
it
gonna
is
love,
a
you gonna love
conversation.
one more than the other.
And that's okay.
That's exactly it.
And
That's
then
why
you're
I
gonna
keep
be
And that's the
saying
one
it.
that's gonna get to stay in the big house with me.
Right. That's why I keep saying somebody gonna die.
Until you're asked to move to your own room because that happened to
Now
Tiger.
the rules have changed and we got a problem. You see what I'm
But
saying?
it is
Dating,
part of
right?
dating now. Like, that's the thing. It's on dating apps. So many men have in their app that they're open to polyamory and all of the other stuff.
I am just
So-
not gonna feed your fucking ego. No, that's
Because
not gonna
also,
happen.
Shelley, it's a financial, economic win as well.
I'm just not
You
gonna
are
feed his
able
ego.
to have a better
I'm just
life
not gonna do
because you
it.
could
With
pull
3
your
incomes now.
resources, and there you go.
I'm not
Right?
feeding that
And in
ego.
their
Maybe
case,
the
they're
late,
about to
you know.
have 4 incomes.
And technically,
There you go.
it's like Old Testament, actually. You know, everybody in the Old Testament had many
Like
spouses.
900 of
As many as you could afford.
Yeah, as many as you could afford. So
But
it's
then
like,
the New Testament came.
then it did. But also, again, everyone doesn't
forgives.
believe in it. So it's like, we have
He
to
does forgive you.
be
under a new
willing
covenant
to
of
examine.
grace.
And I think once I had my divorce of someone I met in the church, it caused me to look at marriage very differently.
Mm.
Because
Because
I'm
they're
like,
human first, right?
they're human first.
With
but
trauma
also-
and their childhood and all that type of stuff. And I think whatever everybody wants to do is follow me. I said I just couldn't do it. My emotions are intense.
Mhm. But
And
I'll
I'll be somewhere pissed off, mad, and
Ready to kill
jealous and
somebody.
stuff like that.
But
and I
even
wanna-
if you were a part of the
I don't wanna live
decision
like that.
making, we had a conversation
How many
that
times
we
do you
want
have
to
a
bring
conversation go
JoJo
wrong?
in.
Girl,
I'm just saying.
As Zakiya said,
How
you
many-
have to live up to the agreement.
how many-
That's the
right?
thing. Once the
Yeah, we
agreement,
talked about the
once
agreement.
anybody wants to get out, that's what the rules supposedly
Like I said,
are.
I gave it a
so-
thought, and
Yeah.
I tried for like a couple of weeks, and I was
Yeah.
like,
But at
this
least
shit
you
is
gave
drive
it
you
the
fucking
good
crazy.
old college try,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
You tried
And
it,
that
it's
could
like-
even have been in the contract.
And you
know
can
what I
know
mean?
whether
That
it's for
first
you.
60, 90-day period.
Right. And you
It
then
could
you
Now, do
figure
you
out.
ladies think you know of men? I was thinking of this as I was watching the show. I don't think I know any men who would want to be in this
That you know of.
That
relationship.
Yeah,
Do
they
you
probably
think
don't
you
I
know?
advertise
think there's
it.
some husbands that know that my
T-shirt
wife ain't
about it. There's no t-shirt.
I think there's some husbands that be like, I know my wife ain't going for no shit like that. I ain't gonna even bring it up. She
But
probably kill my.
I do think that people get curious about what it's like with
Mhm.
other people.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
No,
And
I think
so-
it's fine for you, right? You're the one that's being curious, but how do you go and tell your spouse, "Hey, look, I think it's time for us to get another guy up in here." And
Without
you just,
dying.
You
Yeah.
just move into that room,
Without
and I'm
dying.
gonna move Tiger into this room.
Joe would be like this. Stop playing time. He would just ignore it.
I mean, I'm just saying, and just from my circle of people that I know, I
Because he
haven't
knows
met
you.
He'd be like,
I actually have a friend
You
who's
do?
doing that now.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Who's
a lady
opening
with
up his marriage.
Yay.
But he is asking his wife to open. I told him flat out, I was like, I don't think this is fair. I was like, this is a church lady. She's going to go along with what you want
asked.
because she's being submissive. I don't think it's fair.
But she's not the one empowered.
No. So
Ah, okay.
they've been talking about it for a series of years. And now she's like, okay, I don't need to do that myself. But if this is what you need, we've built a life together. So if this is what you need, okay.
Mhm.
And I was surprised because I was flat out like, you know, you're wrong. But he was like, no, I grew up in the church. I didn't get to date. I had to marry really young. And I feel like there might be other things I want to explore. but I love
I
my
can relate.
wife. I love my kids. I love this life.
I can relate.
And then I had to
That
check
part.
myself because I was like, oh, I don't have a marriage that's lasted longer than 5 years. I don't know what that looks like. I can't believe she said, let's work through it. But I've seen them and they seem to be in a.
How long has it been going on?
He started the conversations, I think, about 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But he hasn't even acted on it yet. I think he was very careful to be like, I want to wait and make sure she's really okay with this. So they've been working with a therapist and they've been,
Really?
yeah.
That's so nice.
I was surprised, but
Versus some of those men that just do it.
yeah. No,
Right.
he's-
Anyway.
And that's the one thing
Yeah.
I can tell you guys about this guy was that I respected the fact that he told me. That he told me that that's what he wanted.
That was your verbal rules of engagement.
right.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
contract.
And not, not telling me, and then I catch you and then I really had to kill you.
That
So
part.
the one thing I can say is that I respect the fact that he
Honesty.
came out and said it. I still to this day we're friends, but I had the utmost respect because he came to me. When he was pursuing me, he eventually told me
Okay.
before
Right.
we became physical.
Right.
And a lot
We're
of
like, go ahead, please. Zakiya.
a lot of younger Black Hollywood men are very into polyamory. So it's making it more attractive to other young Black men.
But where are the women?
I think we're honestly trying to figure out, like,
Right.
how do we feel about this? And also, well, wait, if you get to do this, then do I?
Right, there's the polyandry.
That's
It's
the
like,
part I
I
was
hear a lot when we hear
thinking
about
too.
polyamorous relationships. I always hear it from a man
Right.
who wants to bring in,
Someone
another
else.
wife, sister
Yeah.
wives or whatever.
Mhm.
That's why this was exciting to me
because
it's the woman,
that wants to bring in
right? And it
someone.
seems that society is not as accepting of a woman being in control of all of these different relationships.
Well, we're
Right.
not supposed to have those kinds of desires.
I know.
We're not supposed to enjoy those types of things. But if you think about it, when women are in charge, we get shit done. The house runs because we're running
women are in
things.
charge in every household.
Exactly.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it's like,
If
I
it's
can
effective.
see how having a woman in charge of this, it's
Yes.
like, okay, all right, men, this is your role, this is your role, this is your role. And here are the rules. And if anyone doesn't like being in my kingdom, my queendom,
Exactly. Get
peace
kick
and
rocks.
blessings.
Yes.
Kick
I'm
rocks.
gonna do that,
Queendom.
y'all.
I like that.
I'm about to be a Pally Annie.
Girl, stop it. Stop
Well,
it.
you guys mentioned, Zakiya, you said on dating apps
Mhm.
that men check
Yes.
polyamorous,
Mhm.
right? What are you guys' thoughts about dating apps? When I was dating, there were no apps.
No apps
or
at all.
I have a
things
hard
that-
time with dating apps. I've never tried it. I've had friends who've experienced it. Some people who have had really good experiences. Some who have met their husbands and married them. And then I've had some that have been catfished. But I have never tried it because I'm always afraid of. Well, I'm just gonna be honest. You got to be ugly if you on a dating website. I think because
Oh my goodness!
That's like that man in New York.
Why'd you say
That's not nice.
Look at Zakiya. She's
Sorry,
like,
you're
"Yeah,
not taking it back.
I'm talking about a man because
no,
there's
friend.
not women. I'm talking
hear
about men because there's so many women and so many choices. Why are you on here? Are you a predator? What do you?
They could be introverts. They may not want to associate because the power of the dating app is it supposedly has an algorithm that you put all your stuff in, they put all their stuff in, and it computes it together.
But
and
what
they
if they
see
lie,
what
Tanya?
matches.
What if they lie?
I mean, that's you can lie out. People can lie outside of the dating app.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
I just feel
At
like
least it
there's
allows
so
you to
many
screen the
choices.
fool. Screen the
Yes.
fool, get their number. You're not meeting in public.
Do a
You
background
screen
check.
and do a background
That
check.
was
Ask your
wrong.
friend
I'm
if you know
sorry.
somebody. You can do all those things on the dating app. Behind the scene. My brother is on the dating app, and he talks to me about it and how you get to talk to him and text him, and then you can tell by one conversation if I don't want to do this,
Yes.
right? And you don't have to waste money, time, energy
or
going
buying
through
one
it.
to-
So it
yeah,
does
taking
have
it
a
for free, right.
benefit, and I think there's when you look at the world, there's nice looking men that are single and there's ugly men that got the best looking women, right? So I don't think it has anything to do with looks. I think it has something to do with personality.
Because
and
why do
how
you
they-
swipe right? Yeah, I think it does. Because why do you swipe?
Well,
You swipe because you like what you see, right? It's
But
the
they maybe
attraction
not wanna
is what you
talk.
see.
Yeah.
The attraction is what you see.
But
I can tell you now, you got blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm not swiping. I'm not swiping.
Shelly
So
crazy.
I'm serious. No, I'm serious. Because it has to be something I like what I see first.
Right.
And so to me, there's just so many ways to meet for a man to meet a woman. I can see why women do it. So let me take that back. I feel like an ugly man might do it because there's so many women out there. They could just go to a club. They could just go to a social club. They could just go to your house, Tanya. And there's women.
But people don't.
The clubs aren't the same
How many
anymore.
times?
No, they're not the same. But I'm saying there's just so many
But
opportunities
how many
for them
times
to
have you
meet.
been somewhere and you see a guy, he's attractive, you think he's attractive, and they never say anything to you? And some women feel like, I'm not going to approach a man if he don't approach me, and he's not going to approach you.
And I used to feel that way. And then after that, I did that in the very beginning when I first became single. But then I was like, what's there to lose? You put yourself out there. You're not going to meet people, or I should say men, because I still only date men, but you're not going to meet men if you don't put yourself out there. What's the worst thing that possibly happen? He could tell me he's married. He could tell me he has a girlfriend. He could tell me he doesn't want to go out with me, but at least I met this person. At least I put myself out there. And I feel like there's being in the atmospheres that I've been in and the social events that I've been at, it's so easy. And so why are you hiding behind a computer? I guess I've seen too much catfish. Maybe I just seen too
you're
much.
tainted, Shelly.
Yeah, I'm tainted. Yeah.
I mean,
What are your thoughts, Zakiya?
I've had fun on the apps because I remember I was doing a play in Chicago and I loved football and I would be in my cute little Eagles jersey, hair done, lashes done. And I'd be like, why isn't anybody talking to me? And one of the young men in the cast, he said, because everybody is waiting for their Tinder date. You need to get on the apps. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because I was very much like, it was rare for me to not meet at least 3 guys when I'm out watching football. So I did make a Tinder profile and I set my boundaries because I was like, oh, you can be on Tinder and not just have it be a hookup thing. Bet. When I tell you, I met the most quality, I dated the most handsome men. I actually made a little collage of them.
You swiped though, right?
I did.
Yeah, see?
I swiped. And
what if you don't get swiped?
Well, eventually you can meet some people. I mean, look, every date was not a winner. Every conversation was not a winner.
Yeah, the weeding
But
out.
the ones that I did meet, it was interesting because I was very hesitant too. I was like, I need to know if you're an axe murderer. But I also liked that I didn't have to see you until I was ready to see you. I could do all of my research and make sure you look like what you say you look like, that you're not married.
Check your Facebook.
Check your Facebook.
Girl, they can set that whole thing up. I'm telling you, I have a friend that I've had for over 35 years. And she was catfished. The guy was fine. He had everything set up. He had the Facebook set up. He had the dating app set up. He sent her stuff in the mail from the address that he said he was at. All pretending to be this person for months. And she finally found out after some investigation, I think he messed up on one of his emails. He messed up. And she was like, And then she started to find out that this guy was a catfish. And she actually contacted the guy's pictures that he was using and said, do you know someone is using your pictures? Do you know someone has a Facebook with your name and all of your pictures? And the guy didn't even know. Married and had kids. Didn't even know this guy was using him. That freaked me out. And then when she finally saw who the person was, he had no teeth. So I'm just saying.
You got to FaceTime him though. I FaceTime. I'm like,
well, we know how you feel about teeth.
You got to FaceTime and ask for their baby picture.
Exactly. Like
that too.
You gotta ask for their baby picture.
Because people lie to you in person too.
They do.
You know,
they do.
So it's like,
they gonna do
I'm sorry. I'm just a little old school with the whole dating app thing, and I probably shouldn't have said that.
No, I'm glad you did because
maybe I should no more mimosas before we did the show. So
no, these are the conversations that we have. You know,
it's a chat.
Yeah,
but so I and then again, I'm not gonna say what I'll never do. Maybe one day I might do Tinder. I don't know. But I just feel like there's
no, Tinder isn't the only one.
Whatever apps there are. What other ones?
Tinder, Hinge. I liked Hinge a
Christian
lot.
dating.
Is there still black people meet? Or
There's still black
go?
people.
Black people meet.
I actually met the craziest people on the Christian
I'm sure
mingle
you did.
site. And I was like,
I'm
I
sure
will
you-
never do this one again.
Because Freaky Freddy in church.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Freaky Freddy do go to church.
He sure does.
He sure does.
He does.
I
And
married
wait for
him.
you to sit in the front
And
row.
Mad Mary
Some
is
will be
there
up in the
too.
thing.
Not Mad Mary.
Well, let's be honest. The church is a lot of people go to church. That's
For healing.
For healing. So
And to fish.
and to fish.
And to fish.
Mm-hmm.
And to pray.
That
For more
catfish
fish.
thing. Like, what was the motivation from this person? Like, were they trying to extort money from your friend, or
No.
what? I mean,
They
what's the
didn't ask-
motivation
he
to
did
go
not
to those
ask her
lengths
for.
of
He did not ask her
catfishing?
for money. I maybe it didn't get it that far yet, but it was a long time. Like she did her investigate. Like Tanya said, the Facebook. She even went on Instagram. Just a lot of just looked on the background check, everything. Well, this guy checks out because you're not really that guy.
Right.
He used a name too, the same name, or a different name.
He used the same name. He used the same name.
I need a
Well,
face.
ladies-
And so she's
This-
talking to somebody. She's thinking she's talking just like you would think you were talking to Eric, and it's not Eric.
That's just a whole nother level of deception.
It is.
It is.
It is. And when that happened to her, I was like, oh, okay, I'm cool on apps.
But I had that happen with my ex-husband. So I think that's why I'm like, look, people be lying.
But
about
like
who
you
they are.
said, and I have to give credit.
the
There has
app
been some
outside of that.
positives. There has been people that have gotten married, and
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
Tanya. And then I know another lady who met her husband.
Black people meet.
Yeah, a friend of
So-
mine, sister, met her husband on Bumble,
Mhm.
and he's perfect for her.
So it happens.
Well, ladies, this has been a very interesting hour and conversation.
Absolutely.
One that the chat must take up again.
We've had a blast.
We had a great time. We
We
need a
had
part
a
two.
part two. Oh my God, this is the Shelly Zakiya hour, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
We will be back before you know.
We will. Tune us in again. You know, the chat appears every month. So check us out. We'll have lots to
Alright.
say.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.